Hello students. So students, in the previous class in this chapter, that is nutrition in plant, we were talking about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. And in that students, we had discussed that okay, there are organisms which used to show the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, but still there are ways by which the heterotrophic mode of nutrition are shown by them. Like there are plants, there are organisms which are saprophytic, which are parasitic. So basically heterotrophic is classified into two, that is saprophytic and parasitic. That is, the mode of nutrition is the parasitic mode of nutrition or saprophytic mode of nutrition. So you see here when we talk about the parasitic mode of nutrition, this is that mode of nutrition in which the plants used to take food from the other plants by climbing on them without killing them. So who will going to take such kind of benefit from the others, from the other plants? Absolutely, there are non-green plants who are not able to prepare their food, so they need food from the other plants. And for that, they used to take food from the other plants by climbing to that particular plant. Climbing, and then it used to curl or it used to bind itself with that of the plant. Then what happened? It used to release its roots, and the roots it become in such a way, it is such a specialized root that it starts sucking the food material from the other organism, from that of the tree itself, from that of the plant itself. So you see that they are not able to prepare their food, but they used to take food from the others. This basically happened like that of the cuscuta, which is also called as amarbi. So it is when you look at it, it is pale yellow in color, so non-green plant, not consisting of the chlorophyll, so not able to prepare the food with the help of photosynthesis, and they used to climb on the other and take nutrition, take food or suck food from that particular plant. If we talk about the next one, the other one, that is saprophytic mode of nutrition. What happened in case of a saprophytic mode of nutrition? Here the plants, they used to take food from the dead and decaying organic matter. It means here the plants or the organism do not get food from a living organism, but they used to obtain food from a dead organism. So if we talk about the plants which used to obtain food from the dead organism, like you see students, like fungi is there. So fungi, it include mushroom, it include molds, it include yeast, and you have seen that especially after the rainy season when the moisture is very moist and that dark, that is a very good condition for the growth of the fungi. So they used to grow on the long log of wood, on the dead wood, and used to grow and take nutrient from that particular wood. So they are obtaining food from the dead organisms. Okay, from the dead plant. The same thing happened with the molds. So molds, bread mold, you have heard about that they used to also obtain food from the other plants or the plant product. When we were talking about that of the fungi students, so fungi basically we said that they are useful or they are harmful. So they are both. Harmful because they cause us disease. Not only to the crop, they can destroy the whole crop present in the field, as well as they can cause disease to the human being or to the animals also. Ringworm is a very common disease which is caused by fungi. How it is useful? So medicines are prepared with the help of the fungi. So penicillin is a medicine, is an antibiotic which is prepared by fungi, that is Penicillium notatum. So you see that it is having both of the benefit, but basically it is a saprophyte. So the organism which used to take food from the other dead organisms, they are known as saprophytes, or we can call them saprotrophs. You can use any of the two. Now moving on, and we will see the other type of a plant which is also a kind of a heterotrophic mode of nutrition, or you can say who are also heterotroph because they do not obtain food. They do obtain food from the other, and that is insectivorous. Insectivorous. What is insectivorous plant, students? So the plants that eat other insect as a food. Such kind of a plant, we call them as a insectivorous plants. Okay. So we can write it that there are some plants that obtain their food partially from soil, atmosphere, and also from other insects, and also from other insects. Okay, so they used to obtain their food partially from soil, partially from atmosphere, and also from other insects. So we can say that the insectivorous, the term insectivorous, so we can define on the basis of that the plants which obtain food from the insects. Even you can write the plant which partially obtain food from the insect by eating the insects are called insectivorous plants. They are called as insectivorous plants. Now, you see that here this plant is like what? It is like a carnivorous plant, right? You see, if we say that these plants used to eat the other insects. So this is the case with that of the carnivorous also. Those animals who used to obtain their food by other, or those who used to eat the other animals, we call them as a carnivorous. Here also, these plants get food from by eating insect or by engulfing, by taking insects. So they are also called as carnivorous plants. Okay, so some of the points that we can write about the insectivorous is they are also called as carnivores. So next point is these are also called as carnivorous plants. Okay, since they feed or they eat the other animals. Okay, so they have a kind of their leaves are very specialized in order that when the insect will come, they are able to catch the insects. and that is why they are called as the carnivorous. Now, what kind of a conditions is required for the growth of the insectivorous plant, students? So basically, they used to grow in the soil which do not contain the sufficient amount of nitrogen in it. The insectivorous plants grow only in those soils which do not contain nitrogen in it. Okay, this is a kind of a condition. This is a kind of a condition for the insectivorous plants. Okay. Now, how you see that they used to trap the insect by various methods, and after that they kill the particular insect. So they used to do various methods in order to catch the insects, and basically they used to kill the insect and digest them in order to get the nitrogen compound, and that is why we can say that these do not grow or insectivorous plant are those who need nitrogen. So that is why they need nitrogen, because they are not able to grow in such kind of a sufficient in the soil which consisting of a sufficient amount of nitrogen in it. So they used to digest the food, they used to obtain the food by killing the other insects. Okay, so we can write here that some of the common examples. Let me write one more point, students, and then we will move on. And that is why the insectivorous used to kill the other plants, other insects. Okay, so these plants trap insects by different method, by various methods, kill them and digest them to obtain nitrogen compound like amino acids. Don't get confused with the term that is amino acid, that is a nitrogen compound only. Plants, you think that the plants, even in the previous one we discussed that plants, they get carbohydrate and they get nitrogen from the mineral salts. These mineral nitrate are present in the soil, and the plant used to absorb that of the mineral nitrate, with the help of which it used to prepare the protein. Now, insectivorous plants also need nitrogen in order to get the nutrient, in order to get the protein, we can say. Okay, this nitrogen compound help in the formation of amino acid. You can understand this like a protein only. Okay, so they used to trap the insect and they get the nitrogen from those insects only. Now, what are the different examples of the insectivorous plant? So, Venus flytrap is there, pitcher plant, which is a very kind of a common plant, you can say, pitcher plant. Sundew is there. So, example of insectivorous that is sundew, then Venus flytrap. Venus flytrap is there. Pitcher plant is there. Bladderwort is there. Okay. Bladderwort. These are what? These are the examples of that of the insectivorous plants, and they used to do all of them. They used to do the same thing, that they used to trap the insect and finally they digest them in order to get the nitrogen compounds from them. Okay, so if you talk about the pitcher plant, so pitcher plant, the pitcher plant lamina leaves are responsible in catching that of the insects. When you look at the pitcher plant lamina, it is modified into a hollow tube. So when that of the insect used to came in it, then it get trapped into that of the pitcher plant, and finally due to which we can say that it will be that tube like a structure get closed and the insect got killed and digested by the plant itself. Okay, so this is the insectivorous plants and how they used to work. Okay, so now you see here, students, that this is also an example of the heterotrophs. We can say they are also a heterotrophs which used to obtain food from the other organism. Moving on, and we will see the next kind of a plant, that is called symbiotic plant. Symbiotic plant. What is symbiotic plant? Actually, in this one, two plants, they live together, they are grown together in order to benefit each of them. It means they are together and they help each other for their proper growth. And how do they get the proper growth? When they will get the nutrition. So they both of them help in providing nutrition to each other. Okay, so here the two different species, they live together. So on the basis of that, we can write it that the living together of two species, living together of two species, two different species. Two different species of plant as if they are the part of the part of the same plant. Same plants, and help each other in obtaining the food. Help each other in obtaining the food. Okay. So here the two different species, they live together. Sorry. and they live in such a way that it seems that they are the part of the same plant. Why? Because they are there to help each other. Okay, so both of them will provide benefit to each other, and such kind of a relationship is called as symbiotic relationship, or such kind of a plant in which the two different species, they are together, but they are of a different species, but they are helping each other in order to obtain the food. Such kind of a plant is called as a symbiotic plant. Okay. So here we can write an example, and that is lichens. Lichens is an example of that of the symbiotic relationship. So in case of a lichen, basically it is what consisting of a algae and fungi. So we can write it, that is, in lichen, green color part is there called alga. What is alga, student? Don't get confused with it. Alga or algae is the same thing. Alga is the algae only. And you know that algae used to perform the process of photosynthesis. When we were talking about the non-green plant, and even there we have discussed that slime, slippery, green color patches used to formed are the moist places, especially in the water bodies you have seen. So that is algae, and the algae used to perform the process of photosynthesis because they are green color, and if they are green color, they consisting of the chlorophyll in it. Okay, and that is why they used to perform the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so alga, it is a green color part, or it is a green part of the lichen, and there is a non-green part also called fungus, which term came from fungi. Fungus, or the term came from fungi. Now let me tell you that how do they work together. So lichen is what? It is showing a kind of a symbiosis. How, student? Here a green color part alga is there, and a non-green part fungi is there. Now if we talk about the mode of nutrition shown by the algae and fungi, so we know that algae used to show the autotrophic mode of nutrition because they used to prepare their own food. Right? They are autotrophs. Alga is an autotroph. While in case of a fungi or in case of a fungus is what? It is saprotrophs. Saprotrophs, why? Because when we were talking about the mushroom molds, so they used to grow on the dead and decaying organic matter. So we know that the fungus or the and the fungi, they used to grow on the dead and decaying organic matter. So lichen is the combination of two parts. One is the green color part, another is the non-green part. Both of them are present in this same plant, that is the lichen. So lichen is an association. Lichen is an association of two parts of a two thing, and that is alga and fungus. One is autotroph, one is saprotroph, and reason is because of the green color. One is having the green color, other one does not have the green color. Now, how they used to work, how they are benefiting to each other, how they are helping to each other. So, first of all, we will discuss the role of the fungus in the plant. Okay, so So basically the fungus role is fungus hold the algae. Fungus holds the alga cell in its web-like hyphae. In its web-like hyphae. You see, here when we are talking about the web-like hyphae, don't get confused, student. Here it is talking about that the fungus is having a respective structure and the algae is trapped in that particular structure. So it is providing shelter to the algae. What does that mean? Here in its structure, it is holding the algae. It means it is providing it is providing shelter to the algae. So the first role of the fungus is that it is providing shelter. Okay, so we can write it web-like hyphae. So providing shelter. Okay, shelter means it is providing home. So the kind of a structure it has, here it used to give shelter to that of the algae. So we can say that fungus used to hold the alga cell. So this is the first function of the fungus, that it is helping the algae by providing shelter to it. Second role of the fungus is here, that it helps in providing the water and nutrients or nutrition from the surrounding, water minerals from the surrounding to the algae. So not only the shelter, but it also helps in providing water and minerals. Water and it is also providing water and minerals to the alga from the surrounding. So you see that this is the two role of that of the fungus. First one, it helps in holding the alga cell in its hyphae. Hyphae is the structure of the fungus, where at the top of it you will find that there is a green colored portion is present, and that is the alga only. So we can say that it helps in providing the shelter, it is giving shelter to that of the algae. Then next one is not only this, now algae is there at the top and the fungus is attached to the ground. So it helps in providing the water and the minerals from the surrounding and give it to that of the algae. Okay, so these are the two roles of that of the fungus here. Now what is the role of the algae here, students? So algae is green color, so perform photosynthesis to make food and provide it to fungus also. So here the algae, it is green in color. So its role is to perform the process of photosynthesis. So it makes food by process of photosynthesis and provide food to that of the like it to that of the fungus. Okay. So you see, both of them are mutually benefited. Both of them are helping each other. One is helping in providing shelter. One is helping in providing nutrition. Other one is providing the food to it. So this is called symbiotic plants.